Hello there. We're using the big microphone today because I just wanted to have a little chat with you about my YouTube journey and why I think it's been so worth it. Even though this channel is still really small and is not giving me any financial returns, it's been incredibly rewarding. All because of one simple decision. About a year ago, I really decided to double down on these creator conversations. After trying out different channels, different niches, I realized that the thing I love to do is chat with other creatives and find out how they work. And now I have a way of sharing that with you, with people that are interested, and that's been incredibly rewarding. It's something I've always done, have chats with creatives, especially creators, ever since I got into that world. I took any opportunity to chat with another creator, see how they work, why they do the thing they do, how they got there, all those things. And I could have not have even imagined the things that have come out of it. I mean, that list is like maybe half of it. This is just like quick off the top of my head. It's one very obvious thing is just it gives me an excuse to reach out to cool people. Now when I see a new YouTube channel or a video pops up or even a TikTok or Instagram, whatever it is, I get to message them, be like, hey, I like what you do. Do you want to have a quick chat about it? Maybe that leads to an interview, maybe it doesn't, but it gives me a way to turn strangers into friends or into peers at the very least. I mean, if you've seen the channel, like April and Alter, Louise from the Calm Creative, Mr. Alex Tech, Ben Kaluza, they're all people I've watched. And now I know them. We've had a conversation. That's just super cool, because being a creator gives you a lot of independence, freedom, liberty, all those things. But it can also be very lonely. You create a lot in solitude. Whenever there's a milestone, whenever you have achieved something, or whenever you have a challenge, it's very quiet. You can post about it on your favorite platform, and yeah, okay, move on, next task. Let's get things done. And yeah, bringing people together has been, I think, the biggest reward in this journey. And part of that is actually hosting events for creators. That's something I really didn't intend to do, but it just kind of happened. And now I think I've hosted 3 or 4 events already, and there's going to be at least one more in Vienna this year, and hopefully one in Barcelona. It's, getting schedules and getting people aligned is a little bit of a tricky challenge, but that is happening. I also got invited to my first event, like official YouTuber event. I still can't believe that actually happened, but it's just because I'm talking so confidently about this project, which makes people pay attention, and that led to that invite, and super, super grateful for that. It also completely let me redefine who I am. For the longest time, I called myself a filmmaker. That was my professional label that I gave myself. But I was never really comfortable with that label, actually. And now I'm happy to just call myself a content creator, not think much about it, and I like that term. It's a little bit like that Sam Newton song. No, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm a content creator. As a filmmaker, I used to make videos for brands, but it was a very service-based relationship. They had goals, they had a vision, and they made choices, and I was kind of just executing them, and that's okay. But now whenever I do work with brands, and I mean, I have a collaboration with my dream camera company, so that's super cool, and the conversation happens much more on eye level, and I just get to make creative choices, which is a really nice turn of events. There's another aspect to this that is super, super personal to me. I don't know how applicable that is to a lot of people, but especially here in Europe, there's a lot of media incubators and media grants. And having this conversation-based show allowed me to apply to a bunch of them. And it gave me access to a group of people that is much more journalistically minded, who gave me a completely new perspective on the media landscape. And it's also kind of funny because my dad actually was a news cameraman. He filmed all the newsreels for TV in the 80s and 90s. And now I'm not really doing that, but I'm kind of following in his footsteps in different ways. And that's just been, something that feels really good. And the last thing this channel enabled is that now people are messaging me, right? I put out videos and now people want to collaborate with me. They want to be on the show. They want to work with me. They want to help me in some way. And that really is the ideal scenario. I just put out videos and people reach out to me, and then I can decide what is a cool collaboration and what is maybe not worth my time. That is really the best case scenario. But at the moment, like I said, this is still a vision, if anything. This channel is not monetized. I don't have any sponsorship on it right now. This is not financially sustaining my life. And that is something that has to change, obviously, if I want to do that full time, which I have been lucky enough to be able to do that for a year. But now there's also kind of a pressure to turn this more into a real thing. And one really core aspect of that is to create a place where creators like you and I can come together, connect, form friendships, learn from each other, collaborate together. And that community is coming. It's just kind of a big undertaking, and I want to make sure that this is right. I've seen too many communities that are there and like super full in the beginning, then it's crickets, or just start with crickets. Like that's not good. I want that to be a place where everybody feels welcome and that actually creates synergies between the people. One other thing I really want to do that's a little bit less effort is like share some resources that make creating easier. Something that is easy to digest but has really tactical value in it. It's not just like guru advice that you watch, consume, listen. It's actually like maybe a handbook or samples of like, here are the things that you need to do in order to get this result. Something along those lines. Like I said, they're very much in the idea stage right now, but I'd love to know your thoughts on that. And if any of this sounds interesting to you, probably the best place to find out about it is the newsletter. The Orbit newsletter is a weekly guide to becoming a better creator, where I share videos and stories and tools that make creating just a little bit more fun, give you a little bit of guidance, if you will. At the very least, a little bit of entertainment. So link for that is down in the description. And one more thing I want to figure out is this dichotomy between online stuff and in-person stuff, because I would love to host an event every month in a different city in Europe. That would be super cool, but that is logistically super challenging and super resource heavy. And the same is true for the interviews. Like, if you've been around for a while, I started with in-person stuff because I just wanted to meet with my friends in person. I've now done a bunch of remote stuff because I wanted to reach out to a more diverse group of people. And the next month or so is also going to be more in-person stuff. I'd be really curious to know if you notice a difference, if you care at all, or if you don't. I think hanging out in person, there's nothing better than that. but it is just very, very resource intensive. It takes a lot of scheduling and it takes a lot more time. And doing remote conversations is much, much easier to schedule. I think you get the same amount of value out of it, and it allows me to reach out to much more people. Like there's no way I can chat with somebody from LA or San Francisco or, or Australia, right? I had both spectrums. Parker was in Sydney, I believe. April and Alter is in San Francisco. There's no way I could have had a conversation with either of those. And if I do it remotely, that is a possibility. And I think that's what I'm leaning towards, but I'd love to know your thoughts on that. If you prefer one over the other, if you think one is much, much better, if you noticed at all. But yeah, that's kind of my perspective on why even having a small channel is just incredibly powerful. I really think it is worth it for anybody to start one or restart one if you published a couple of videos a year ago, 2 years ago, and that fallen off the trail. It is not about being consistent, and it's not about getting 1 million subscribers in a year. It's just about creating something that you enjoy making and sharing that with people. Maybe 3 people watch it, maybe 300 people watch it. That's cool. Hey, maybe 30,000 people watch it. That's all cool. But it gives you an opportunity to really think about what is it you have to say? What is it you want to share with people? And that simple thought leads to so many more things. So at the very least, give it a shot, try it, and see what comes of it. That's my perspective for today. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.